à Dakar, au Sénégal, et j'écoute la WADR 94.9 FM.
Ghana, Kilsime WADR, Leane, West Africa Democracy,
West Africa Democracy Radio.
We are West Africa Democracy Radio.
94.9 FM.
Dakar, Senegal. It's you speaking.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen.
It's time to embrace a youthful mindset and envision your future. Take the lead is in your walls.
Take the lead is in your walls.
This platform serves as a space for engagement designed to equip young people to become effective leaders. They are actively contributing, creatively engaged, and determined in various fields. And now, this is Take the Lead.
Hello, West Africa and beyond. It's a pleasant moment to be with you, and welcome to your youth exchange program. Take the lead here on West Africa Democracy Radio, broadcasting all the way from Dakar, Senegal. My name is Augustine Curley, taking you through on the 33rd episode of Take the Lead. And for today, we will be diving into a very important issue, and that is how young people can foster regional unity through cultural diversity. You know, there are different cultures in the West African sub-region, and whether those cultures are unique to the young people, how they affect the young people, how are the young people prioritizing or not these different cultures, and are they impediments to youthful progress within the region? And amid our differences, how young people can come together, foster regional unity through these diverse, also unique cultures that we have. So please stick with us on 94.9 FM. We are online. You get us on Facebook at WADR English Service and on YouTube at WADR. Also, you can contribute by sending in your comments through our live feed, and we will read them out, acknowledging your say on the topic. In 2001, UNESCO adopted the Universal Declaration on Cultural Diversity. Building on this milestone, the United Nations General Assembly declared May 21 as the World Day for Cultural Diversity, for Dialogue and Development. And in December 2002, later in 2015, the Second Committee of the UN General Assembly unanimously adopted a resolution on cultural and sustainable development, affirming the vital role of culture in all three dimensions of sustainable development. This resolution recognizes the importance of both natural and cultural diversity and acknowledges the cultures and civilizations are key embryos of sustainable progress. Why? In this context of Africa, particularly in West Africa, where we are and prioritizing with regards to this discussion, the region is renowned for its rich cultural heritage. West Africa is deeply rooted in oral traditions, diverse artistic expressions, and a strong sense of community. Traditional architecture across the region reflects both the climatic conditions and cultural diversity, with distinctive styles emerging in the inland versus the coastal areas. A major contributor to this cultural diversity, or the richness of this cultural diversity in West Africa, is the unique communication practices. Language plays a fundamental role in shaping society, and West Africa stands out as one of the most linguistically diverse regions in the world. It is home to more than 2,000 languages. Imagine that. Each of these languages embodies the values, the beliefs, and traditions of communities that speak them. Whether you are in Senegal, whether you are in the Gambia, whether you are in Liberia, it is just unique to the people living in those countries and how they speak them. So today, alongside our esteemed guests, we will explore how young people can embrace regional unity using our diverse cultures that we have. So please, stick and stay with us.
Take the Lead is back in 2025 with a brand new format. Yes, your youth exchange space will now be broadcast live every Friday at 4:05 p.m. Universal Time. And that's not all. Dear internet users and WADR subscribers, you have the opportunity to experience the show live and direct on our online platforms on Facebook at WADR English Service and on YouTube at WADR. Take the Lead every Friday from 4:05 p.m. Universal Time and rebroadcast same day at 1 a.m. Universal Time. Also, every Tuesday, your youth program will be rebroadcast at 7:15 a.m. and 4:05 p.m. GMT. Take the lead and champion the discourse for the betterment of young people.
Great. It's always the charge, so you have to take the lead. Well, let's now recognize our esteemed guests for today. We should have had, of course, one of them in studio, but the climate change, just last edition, we were discussing the effects of climate change, so it has affected her coming here. So instead, we are having her online, and she is Janet Ban. Janet is a Nigerian national based in Senegal. She is a human rights lawyer and regional lead for West Africa Digital Rights and Freedom of Expression at Article 19. It's a pleasure to hear and also understand why, these young people are whether engaged into fostering unity through cultural diversity. From the legal standpoint, Janet will provide those understanding. But let's welcome you, Janet. Welcome to the Youthful Platform. And how are you doing?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm fine. I am well. It's been raining all day, so you're right about the climate change. But I'm really excited to be here with you all today. Great.
It's a pleasure to also have you on the show, Janet. We also have Soriot Bangura. Now, Bangura is a social worker, and he holds a bachelor's degree in law. He is from Freetown, Sierra Leone. How are you doing, Soros? And welcome to the program.
I'm doing good, Augustine. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. Another astonishing lady joins us from the Gambia. She's Aissatou Sika, and Aissatou is the president of the West African Network of Female Leaders, the Gambia chapter. How are you doing, Aissatou? Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Augustine, for having me. I am Aissatou Mseka, the president of West African Network of Young Female Leaders, Gambia chapter.
Great.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, we will just stick with you now, Aissatou. As you sit there in the Gambia, as you move around, as you interact with other young people, like with regards to your background even in the West African region, tell us, in what way West Africa is culturally diverse in your understanding?
Thank you very much, Augustine. Out of my camera because of the connection. It's also raining here. Thank you very much for that question. And West Africa is diverse in different ways. We can talk about ethnic diversity. When we talk about the ethnic diversity, we talk about this have to do with the languages that we speak. Like when it comes to Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, it is speak in Nigeria, but also when you go to some part of Africa, because we have a lot of Nigerians migrating in different countries, especially in West Africa. People speak different languages, like the Gambia. I've seen some Gambians that speak Yoruba. I've also seen some Ghanaian friends that also speak Yoruba. I've seen when it comes to still on ethnic diversity, Gambia and Senegal, we speak almost the same language, we eat the same food, we have the same culture, except that we speak English and they speak French. When you go to Mauritania as well, they speak Wolof. When we go to Mali, people speak Mandinka, Gambians speak Mandinka as well. And a lot of other parts of the world, the linguistic diversity, the ethnic diversity, it has to do with our culture, it has to do with the religious diversity, that is the religious tolerance. When it comes to, for example, the Gambia, we have 90% of the population that are Muslim. But when it comes to Christian activities like myself, when it comes to Christian feast, most of us Muslims, we buy their asobis, we attend their programs, we attend their feasts. They also attend our feasts, they attend our activities and programs. So West Africa is diverse in different ways. Like I said, the ethnic diversity, the linguistic diversity, it has to do with the cultural diversity as well. So West Africa is really rich when it comes to cultural diversity.
I like that. West Africa is really rich. We will talk about the richness within this diverse culture that we have. But let's hear from Sorius. Sorius, how is it like in Sierra Leone? What can you say about the culture in general? Does cultural diversity really matter to you in the first place? Does it really matter to you as a young West African?
Oh yeah, it does. It does. It goes. I think for us here in Sierra Leone, we're a country that is tolerant. We're open to new ideas. We're open to new cultures. And it is part of our DNA. So the importance of cultural diversity, it cannot be overstated. I mean, from the way we dress, our outfits, to the food we eat, to the music we listen to pretty much everything. I think Sierra Leone is one of the countries that are open to importation more than, I think, I'd say we're more open to it than most countries in Africa. So it does have a great impact. For example, the Afrobeat here in Sierra Leone, it's massive. You go to clubs, it's a constant mix of Sierra Leone songs and songs from other countries in Africa. It's the same with our dress code. You come here, you go to work on a Friday and you go to town on a Friday, you see people wearing the kente, they wear the outfits from Senegal, Nigeria, Ghana, the Gambia. So it's a big deal here. Diversity it's common and it has been accepted.
It has been accepted in Sierra Leone. We'll come back to you to tell us how it is, well accepted by the young people and what are they doing. But let's hear from Janet. She would also tell us, Nigeria is really recognized on the continent as a country with also diverse culture. The citizens there are more likely into their own things, and it is so unique that it influences other countries. But let's hear from you, Janet. What do you make of cultural diversity in the first place, and how unique it is, if it is, to the West African sub-region?
Thank you very much for that question. I think that for our region, we are very diverse, but also very the same. And I say this because traveling across the region and seeing all the cultures, be it in our religious practices. And I heard my sister from the Gambia mentioning the fact that when there are religious events, both Christians and Muslims come together. But I think it even goes beyond just Christians and Muslims, even those who are involved in ancestral worship and all of that. There is always that connection where we are all coming together. And if you live in Senegal now, with what I see is the fact that just the day before yesterday was Magal, today is Ascension, and there's always just that link between all of that. But I think going back to Nigeria to see that broadly on, coming from a country where you have more than 500 languages, of course, some of them are a bit extinct, but it just shows you the extent to which diversity plays a key role. And in ensuring that collectively, if we do not come together to harness diversity properly, it's a country that it's something that could be both for good and also be used differently. But maybe just focusing more on the positives to say that there are just so many areas, be it in the kind of food that we eat that cuts across just, all of the region. I think we're here always having the jollof wars between which West African country has the best jollof. And there was a time I organized an event where I made some rice and a colleague also made some rice and she was from Ghana. And what I decided to do was that I did, instead of saying this is Nigerian jollof or Ghanaian jollof, I decided to say this is ECOWAS rice, just to say that we are all together and we all love this rice. And when you go to, you eat cheb in Senegal, you're like, this is incredible. This is the best. You go to the Gambia, it's the same thing. And just across the region, we just have all that diversity with food, but it's also just, the same thing, even within the culture and the religion, but also, like my sister said, the way we dress, but also the way we know ourselves. Is just so easy to see that we all sort of come from the same place and we're all just within the same region, and collectively it's our duty to ensure that the differences that we have, be it your Tiv, your Yoruba, your Wolof speaking, your Fula, wherever you're from, we harness all of that diversity to enrich our region and find all the commonalities that will use as strength, to strengthen the regional integration of our region, but also just collectively build our region in a way that is sustainable, but also ensures that each person lives with dignity within the region.
Great. Let me ask you spoke about food. You spoke about the different languages in Nigeria. But what would you say about the most practice in your country, Nigeria? What is the most practice, common practice culture in Nigeria, you will say?
That's a very difficult question because Nigeria is so diverse that it's so difficult to point out a particular practice. And if you're from the north, you could say that there's something that we do that I know that cuts across almost all of the north, and I've also seen it happen in Senegal. And I'm closest to the north, but we call ourselves Central Nigeria. But there are some of the practices, and for me, it's the way we eat our food. There is that collective way that we all come together to share a plate of food. And it's something that I've seen in Senegal. It happens a lot in Nigeria. Okay. And I know that my brother from Sierra Leone speaks, it will be the same thing. And I've seen it happen in the Gambia. So it's more like when someone is hungry, we would always have a plate of food for you to eat with you and collectively come together to eat. That's something that I've seen that is really interesting for me.
Great. Now, considering the young people's interest for which we are on this platform today, I will ask you, Aisatu, in the Gambia, you spoke well, but tell us from your own observation, are young people in the Gambia knowledgeable about the different cultures or cultural diversity? Are they really knowledgeable? What have you understand to be their own priority with regards to the diverse cultures?
Thank you very much, Augustine. When it comes to Gambia, I can say a lot of young people are knowledgeable about the cultural diversity, especially because we have a lot of joking relationships between tribes as well as the last names. Like myself, I am Seka. You have someone who is Joe, or someone who is gay, they have a joking relationship. So most of the time, even when we have issues, when we have problems, that when conflict arises, it's very easy for us to sort these things out because of the cultural diversity, because of the joking relationship. And these are things that our parents were able to teach us, and most of the young people here are able to know about those things. the joking relationship is there. The when it comes to marriage as well, when it comes to culture, traditional marriages, you as a young girl or as a young man, when you are getting married, you obviously thought about your tradition, your culture, and sometimes we intermarry that, like, I am a Serer, I am married to a Fula. So when it comes to the traditional marriage, you will see that my parents will obviously do our tradition or our culture in our family house. But when I go to my husband's house, they will also do their own Fula culture. And this will really help you to know a lot. And you will see that, like, I am married to a Fula, my sister is married to a Mandinka, my other sister is married to a Nar, a lot of young people are really, they were really knowledgeable about the cultural diversity when it comes to the Gambia. We know about a lot, and we use the.
Okay. That's network. I would have loved to, quiz you a bit about, but let me come back to you later. For Sorios, you spoke about the Afrobeat in Sierra Leone. I know that's one thing that's heading the West African sub-region when it comes to music. The West African sub-region has adapted to the Afrobeat songs when it takes us back to the days of Fela Kuti and other people. But how do young people in Sierra Leone treat other nationals that arrive there? How do they treat the young Nigerians that arrive in Sierra Leone with the Igbo language, with their other languages, with their other cultures they want to practice? How do the young people also treat Ghanaian youths who arrive in Sierra Leone? Are they open to meeting these people, understanding those people's culture, and to be able to blend them together in addressing challenges that the region faces?
Oh, well, yes, they are. I think I mentioned earlier that Sierra Leone is a very hospitable country. We look forward to meeting new people and interacting with them. The Afrobeat in Sierra Leone, I would say, is bigger than even the Sierra Leonean music here. I mean, the biggest shows in theaters, in the National Stadium, in other stadiums, are the Afrobeat shows. We've had Davido here. We've had so many Nigerian, Ghanaian artists here. They come here. We've had Diamond Platinums come here. It's such a big deal. It attracts thousands of youths every year, and it's the same for December. It's the same for the April period. Whatever festive period it is in Sierra Leone, it is dominated by the Afrobeat and the artists. We love them. I mean, we always look forward to these shows. The Afrobeat is so big here that even with our traditional programs, like I would say the naming ceremonies for example, you go to naming ceremonies these days and you hear Afrobeat songs. That is how big it is. It has made its way into our own culture. That is how big it is here. So we welcome artists here, and we love their songs. So I love this.
So with regards to addressing or prioritizing other people's cultures, like I stated, how do young Sierra Leoneans recognize people who come in the country with different cultures and try to practice their culture from their home country but residing in Sierra Leone to avoid stereotype, or intimidation, or harassment, and so forth?
I wouldn't say the stereotype or harassment is non-existent, but it is very minimal. I mean, I started my career working with Ghanaians. I mean, and they employed so many Syrians in their company. And I mean, so we're open to them. We're not scared of them. There are no stereotypes. They're hardly harassed. In fact, I think foreigners in Sierra Leone are treated as kings and queens. I'd say that. I think that is how they're treated. They're adored here. We love, as I mentioned earlier, we love listening to other people, to new cultures, learning about them. So when you come here from, let's say, another country, we're more curious. We want to know what happens over there. that is the approach we have with foreigners. We're curious. We want to know what you know, what you bring in. So it depends. But the general idea is curiosity. We're mostly eager to know what you have to bring, but they are not harassed. They are hardly treated badly here.
Okay, great. Now, we are also concerned about these young people using the diverse cultures, the different values, the different beliefs to come together and address the region's challenges, and especially to ensure unity despite our differences in culture. With that, I come to you, Janet. It is also important to know why and the significance of having, diverse cultures. How does it impact the young people? These different cultures, these young people who are often living from Nigeria, they have this symptom or synonyms of Japa. They want to leave the country for better opportunities, but when they enter into another country within the West African region, tell us what impact the diverse culture has on these young people.
I feel that we can look at that in so many aspects. So many people migrate for economic reasons. That's one of the major reasons why a lot of people try to leave where they are to, find other places. And by the way, I think I should give a caveat to say that I believe that everyone should live exactly where they want to live, anywhere on this very big earth that God has created for us. So I'm one who believes in free movement, and I believe so much in the African continental free trade and the possibility of uniting all of us and opening more trade routes and ensuring that we can travel within the continent, trade more easily, live anywhere, work anywhere. Because I feel it is when the countries are opened sincerely that we can even tap into all of the the growth potential that the continent has, that our region has. But I also understand the tensions, and I feel it will be unfair not to speak to the tensions that arise, especially when issues of migration come. And I'm a Nigerian, so I know what happens when Nigerians go to a place. We do not think that we are just visiting a place. Wherever we find ourselves, we make it home. And I think that also comes sometimes with a lot of people trying to say, why are you so loud? Why are you just coming here and all of a sudden trying to make this place? And I think someone recently told me that, the colonial encounters came and left, and now Nigeria is trying to colonize the entire Africa and then the rest of the world, because we're everywhere, and wherever we go, we're bringing in the culture, we're bringing the food, we're bringing in just everything. You see, you go to some of the most places you would think you would not find people, and you find a Nigerian there, and they have a cultural festival that is happening, and they're inviting everyone, bringing out the food and the drums and everything. So I feel that instead of seeing all of that as something to sort of be scared of, like Serious has said initially, there should be a curiosity to us and to the way that we come to know more about other people. We could see that at the end of the day, that particular cultural practice that maybe you're seeing as something very different, it is something that is done in your country too, but maybe just done in a different way. So at the end of the day, you find out that this is the same thing. Maybe the modes of implementation are different, but ultimately we're just the same. We just only navigate life differently.
Okay, great. How would you say, in terms of your own observation, for you, eyesight too, what have you observed so far? Are young people making use of the diverse cultures of the West African sub-region? Do you see these young people? Do you see a man from Liberia, maybe from the pellet trap, coming to the Gambia and eager to, learn the dialects, the various dialects, or even one or two in the Gambia, singing songs, in those Gambian dialects, so that he will be able to communicate to his fellow young people in the Gambia only by speaking their dialects or singing songs through their dialects? Are you seeing young people in the region making use of these diverse cultures in that form and manner? Aisatu, I hope you're getting us.
I'm sorry, my internet is fluctuating.
Okay, did you get the question?
No.
Okay, I'm concerned about whether you have observed young people in the region making use of the diverse cultures, like wishing to learn the language of another person's country. I gave example about a Liberian leaving from Liberia to come to the Gambia to learn the Gambian languages, to sing songs in the local dialects, to communicate with his fellow young people in the Gambia, to ensure that, that oneness that we are talking about today exists.
Yes, I have witnessed that happen, not only in the Gambia, but as I have got a lot of experience when it comes to the continent, both in West Africa, East Africa, Central Africa. I've seen young people not only in music, but in different ways, even when it comes to the cuisine, the cooking side. We have seen young people or people living from one country to another to learn some of the dishes. We have traveled and seen Nigerians cooking Malians food. We have traveled and seen Senegalese cooking Ivorian foods like acheke. When you come to Gambia, there's a lot of acheke, and everybody know acheke is from Africa Coast. When you come to Gambia, you eat jollof rice, you eat it all over. But we have also seen a lot of, especially when it comes to the music industry, we have seen a lot of collaboration recently between artists. You will see an international artist from somewhere else speaking Yoruba. You will see another international artist speaking Wolof. Especially in the Gambia, we have artists that cannot even speak Wolof. But when they sing in Wolof, you will be shocked that they are able to say all these words in Wolof. But when you engage them to speak the language, they can't. But they're able to put it in their lyrics. We have seen it as well in Senegal, them speaking English. Whilst they are a French-speaking country, but they're still speaking English, So there are a lot of things that we are seeing young people doing, especially when it comes to young people also that are traveling. Like myself, I try to speak French. I try to speak Swahili. I try to speak other languages. I was in Mozambique few weeks ago, and I'm trying to speak Portuguese. So these are all things that young people are really doing well. I have seen my colleagues adapting to other cultures, adapting to other languages, even food. When I travel out, I am one person that is always scared. I'm not very brave with food. I always complain. I'm scared if I eat this food, something will happen to me and all that. But recently, I am trying and it's really working. Sometimes when I travel with my friends, I see them eating food that I'm so shocked. How are you able to eat this thing? But at the end of the day, it becomes their favorite food that we even come back home and cook it in our house, and our family love it, and we continue cooking it.
Okay, wonderful. We've so far listened to stimulating explanations from our guests on this 33rd edition of your Youth Exchange program, Take the Lead in the year 2025. Let's now take a few minutes and listen to WADR's Sankule Janko for some insights about the cultural diversity within the West African sub-region.
West Africa is known for its remarkable cultural diversity, home to hundreds, if not thousands, of ethnic groups and tribes. Each group has its own language, dialects, customs, beliefs, practices, and way of life, which are expressed through food, clothing, art, literature, and more. When taking a closer look at some of these specific cultures, Nigeria stands out with its rich history, which includes ancient kingdoms like Benin and Oyo. Nigerian music, film, literature, and cuisine have gained international recognition, showcasing the country's vibrant cultural and creative contributions. For instance, the coronation of the new king of the Benin people in southern Nigeria is a significant event that attracts thousands of spectators.
Today is very, very important for Benin, all the whole Benin citizens. And today we want to crown our Oba. Today is the coronation.
This ceremony is rooted in a royal tradition that has persisted since around the 13th century, enduring even through the British invasion centuries later. It's truly remarkable to see Edo women singing and dancing to honor the new Oba of the Benin Kingdom. With such amazing cultural practices in Nigeria, what can we say about neighboring countries like Ghana, a country's history marked by ancient empires such as the Asante and the Akwamu, as well as the legacies of European colonization and the transatlantic slave trade?
I remember very vividly when I was a little boy, going to the chief's house where the hot yam is boiled right from the pot straight to some plate. Everybody will have to take a piece of the yam, red hot.
We celebrate Yam Festival first and foremost to bring families together.
Ghanaian music, dance and festivals such as the Ashanti Yam Festival celebrate the country's cultural resilience and heritage. You might be thinking we are closing up here, but don't worry, we still have another magnetic culture in the land of Teranga, which is Senegal. Senegal's history has been shaped by the Wolof Empire, also known as the Jollof Empire or Great Jollof. This powerful West African state thrived in what is now Senegal from the mid-14th to the mid-16th century, strategically located between the Senegal and Gambia rivers. Senegalese music, especially mbalax and traditional sabar drumming, embodies the country's cultural pride and resilience. And now, here comes Youssou Ndour, the king of mbalax in Senegal. Always remember that West Africa is a region rich in cultural diversity and historical significance. To you, the young people, it is essential to understand the cultural and historical dynamics of each country in the region. This understanding is crucial for appreciating the complexities of West African identity and its significance on the global stage.
Thanks to Sankule Jibre Janko for that wonderful put together acts so far coming up from heads, fingers and computers. I know it wasn't just easy to have this stony one coming out for you, the audience. So welcome back to Take the Lead here on West Africa Democracy Radio. Let's now quickly recognize our partner radio stations that often rebroadcast this program. Darling FM is in Nigeria, Nenzit FM in Kaduna State, Nigeria, Love FM in Abuja. In Liberia, we have Alternative Youth Radio in Lofa County. We have DCN Radio in Rivers County. We have Kwatika Radio in Bangabong County. We have radio bombing in Tottenberg, Bombing County. In Sierra Leone, we have African Young Voices in Freetown. We have Radio Bav in Mal. We have Hands of Hope in Freetown. And we have Eastern Radio in Kono District. For Ghana, we have Radio Pav in the Savannah region. We have Royals FM. And in the Gambia, we have Numi FM as well as Radio Veritas. Those are the radio stations that rebroadcast this program throughout the week. So let's now hear from our guests, especially as we wrap up. This one big question goes to the three of you, and we'll begin with Janet. There are challenges in the West African sub-region. Conflict is affecting the region where we see wars fighting. It could be tribal war. It could be anything that relates to the conflict that's breeding division in the region. There's also climate change, which is a problem, to be addressed. So with these young people being the future leaders of the region and the world at large, how these young people can come together with these differences in terms of the values, the traditions, the beliefs. How can they come together to foster unity and ensure that the region is united for the future? Let's begin with you, Janet, quickly.
Thank you very much for that question. I think that at the end of the day, it's more to agree that what everyone and most young people are looking for is just to live a life of dignity, a life where they can find, something, economic opportunities. But also, I feel like for you to first express yourself culturally, you need to have a full belly, which is usually, what a lot of people speak. And so right now, with all of the issues happening within the continent, and our region specifically, the insecurity, but also the climate crisis, all of it is leading to one major issue, which is the fact that there are poverty levels are rising so high, and which is leading a lot of young people to very desperate acts, to take desperate action in order to find economic opportunities for themselves and create economic opportunities for themselves and their families. So I feel like it goes more, not just with, and I could say policy, but also it goes more with the willingness from governments to take real action to ensure that regional integration for our region is not just something that, is said with, is just, a show off. It's intentional efforts that ensure that people live with dignity within the region, but also young people in the activities and actions that we do must also ensure that we come together and work sincerely, to promote our region.
Thank you. Thank you. Because of time, I know there are more to say, but let's just get others quickly because of time. Let's hear from you, Sorios. Tell us, how can these young people unite and address these challenges quickly?
Okay, so I think one of the ways we can get youth united across Africa is community engagement. Exchange programs. We can look for ways to ensure that people here are aware of what is going on in other countries in Africa, understand the differences and the things that unite us, and the similarities.
Okay.
Another way also is by engagement. I think our youths, I don't know for the countries there because I haven't really spent a lot of time there, but for Sierra Leone, youths are either not engaged or they're engaged in things that aren't so productive. And that is one of the key reasons that led to the war, in fact, in the 90s, the 10-year war we actually experienced. We need to get these youths engaged in programs that are beneficial to themselves and the country. I believe that is key.
Thank you, Sorios. Let's finally hear from you, Aisatu.
For me, how we can work on this is one of the way to work on this thing is through leadership development, that is training young leaders on cultural diversity, on how to support when it comes to conflict resolution. As well, another way is through sport. Sport can also support by establishing sport teams that will be able to play that is having different cultural teams coming together and playing, that will also help. But the most important thing is policy advocacy, having young people in leadership position to be able to advocate for policies that will be able to promote inclusivity and representation of cultural communities and diversity.
Thank you so much, Aisatu. We hope to have you on the show another time for an interesting discussion again. Thank you so kindly. All right. Thank you to you, Janet, for being with us. We hope to have you another time. Thank you for being with us, Janet.
Thank you very much for having me.
And to you, Sorios, thank you so kindly. We will certainly have you here another time.
Thank you very much for having me, Augustine. It's a pleasure.
Great. Well, listeners and viewers, this is where we draw the curtains on this 33rd episode of your Youth Exchange program, Take the Lead, here on West Africa Democracy Radio, broadcasting from Dakar, Senegal. Always remember to take the lead in shaping the discourse for the betterment of young people in Africa. My name is Augustine Curley. Please stay blessed.
Hey people, my name is Mello, Afrobeat singer from Guinea and Conakry. I love listening to the program Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio.
Hello, my name is Fatou Bintou Souké. I'm the CEO of African Start Shop and I love listening to your program Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy